and today I'm going to be doing my opinions on popular YA series. Because I just feel like talking about something and having one of those talky videos where you just talk about something important or interesting. And today I'm just going to talk about a few series that I have read that are popular books, and I just want to give my thoughts and feedbacks on the series as a whole. So let's get down to it. I'm going to start out with a classic dystopian, one of the first, or if not the first, and that is the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. This was a first for me back in 2011 when I was in year 10 at school, and I had to read the Hunger Games for school. If you want to know a little more about that, I did a video about books I read while I was at school, so I'll link that down below. But I progressed to reading the whole series at school because people took bloody forever to read the first one, so I just got straight into it, and it was amazing. I enjoyed it so much back then. It has been great. I think I've read the series about twice now, at least these two books 2 or 3 times. I don't know, this one not so much. But I think Catching Fire is definitely my favorite in the series. It was amazing. It's not even any bigger than the first one, but you feel like there's so much more packed into it, and it's just goddamn beautiful. I think the movie is also pretty fab. I didn't like the first movie of the Hunger Games, but when I talk about movies today, Mockingjay here, I didn't love as much. I think with the first reread, I quite enjoyed it, like it was pretty good, but on a second reread, not so much, and I tried to read it before the part 1 movie came out, and I just couldn't do it, and I'm not going to do it again for part 2. But Mockingjay was not my favorite. I think this was the point where I discovered I don't like political dystopian sort of things where society tries to control people and just trying to fight the bad guy sort of thing. I don't know. I'm not really good with conclusions of trilogies much anyway, because I don't like how they're all just the concluding, let's finish it all off, drama, crazy fight sequences, so that's probably why I don't like it as much. But as a whole, I really enjoyed the series, and I still do, and it's just amazing how it began the world of dystopian, kind of, but YA dystopian in the modern day 2010. The second series I am delving into, it is the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. I have the 3 books here and then the novellas called 4. This series I started at the start of 2014. I had no idea what it was. My sister was like, oh yeah, it's blowing up on Tumblr, everyone knows about it. I was like, never heard of this, so I was not on the bandwagon at all. I just jumped on it, and then I found out there was a movie of it later that year, and I was like, okay. So I was already reading it, and then I found out there was a picture, although it does actually say on the tops of the books what major motion picture in 2014. Oh well. Anyway, I didn't really know about it at first. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed Divergent. I think it's my favorite by far. It's just so cool. I just loved the world and how we went through Triss's like storyline and how she became Dauntless, and Dauntless is like the best shit ever. So that was really cool. Insurgent was pretty okay, I think. I can't really remember feels because all I can think of is the movie, because I watched it the other day and the movie sucks. I'm sorry, that was really aggressive. But the movie is not good. The movie is not good. Like, it is good by itself, but knowing the books, it's not good. And I really hated Allegiant. This is probably one of those books that I hate the most out of all books. I really hated Allegiant. Lots of people love it, but I just found it boring and drawn out. And as I said in my Hunger Games one, you know, I don't like that whole like government shit and like, I don't know, it was just boring. The whole like lead up to the battle and stuff. I have one thing to say about the movies. I don't understand. Sorry, this is a mild spoiler, but I just want to talk about the movies. But if you've seen the movie or read the books and stuff, you're fine. If you don't want to listen, then just don't listen for like 30 seconds. I want to rage about the stupid thing in an Insurgent movie, the whole weirdo, like, let's scan you and see if you're divergent or thing, but you have a choice, so how can you be a certain thing if you chose? Like, does it just know what your feelings are? Was it like, oh, she half wanted to be like Dauntless, but she also wanted to be half Amity? Like, so dumb. I don't understand that. And also, why did they kill Janine? Why was Janine there even in the first book? Why was she in Dauntless? She was never there. She was in Erudite or Erudite or whatever you want to call it, Erudite, and she shouldn't have died at the end of Insurgent. She's in Allegiant trying to bring back control, so I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's driving me insane. But good luck with the next 2 movies of Allegiant. I don't know if I'm really gonna watch them because I really don't care anymore. There was my rage done. And then I read the novellas 4, which were pretty alright. So as a whole, this series is pretty good. I think I was in that moment where I was sick of hearing about dystopians just a little bit, even though this was only technically like kind of one of like the second ones that came out. But as a series, it was okay. I didn't love it. The first one was amazing, and then it sort of went a bit downhill there for me. So the next series I have read that is ongoing still is the Queen of Shadows series, which I still have to put the pictures here because I have the actual physical books, but I'm getting them for Christmas, but I have the physical books in my house right now, and I'm very excited to have them on my shelf. But Thread of Glass by Sarah J Maas is a phenomenal series. It is my favorite series at the moment, ongoing, so I love it so much. The first book was amazing. It's just, I don't know, it's like one of those first books that you read and it's just like so much adventure and just, I can't explain it. It's just that first book, like Hunger Games and Divergent, it's just such a different world and it's just so much action with this one character sorting out what they're doing and then, you know, expands from there after the first book. It's one of those classic, like really good first books that just tell you all about the world and everything. So I loved it so much. Crown of Midnight was a little less favorite. I didn't love it as much. Everyone loves that book so much. I just liked it a little bit less, I think, after the amazingness of the first book. Heir of Fire was goddamn amazing. So beautiful. I loved every single second of it. Great book. The Assassin's Blade, which is a set of novellas, was also fantastic. And the most recent book, Queen of Shadows, I thought it was pretty good. It was not my favorite, but it was still pretty good. It was really long, which was great, but it was also like, so long, so much, but I loved it so much. This series is fantastic. If you're a big fantasy reader, you should definitely read it because it's just amazing and so much happens, and it's one of those big series that just blows your mind. So much happens and it's just amazing. So definitely hit that one up if you love your fantasy. And she is currently writing another series which is going to flow alongside the Throne of Glass ones, not in relation at all with it, so you don't have to worry about that, but that is the Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. It's going to be a trilogy set and so far this series is going so well. I loved the first book. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and along with this series she's going to be doing in the next 2 books other sort of mild fairy tale retellings within it, so I'm very excited because that's something cool. I don't mind retellings and this one is sort of quite straight, and I also love Sarah's writing anyway. Great, fantastic series so far and I can't wait to keep going with it when the next one gets published next year in May. The next series I have here, you can already see it, is the good old Model Instruments by Cassandra Clare, and I started this series 2010 I think it was, so like 2 or 3 years after it started. So I think the first 3 books here were out when I started reading it and I loved it so much. I couldn't say that I would love it as much now being 5 years older than I was when I first started it, but when I started reading the series, this was what started me into young adult and some serious hardcore reading again since I was young. This series just, yeah, brought me into the whole world, and I don't know, I just read it. My sister just had them and I was like, oh, I'll just read them one day, and they are just so great. Lots of people say you gotta get past the first book, and I guess I agree with that. When I read it, it only was the 3 books, and then I found out once I finished reading it that they were going to do another 3, and I was so flippin' excited because it was my favorite series for so long, and I still do love it, and I've grown up with this series over the last couple of years, and it's just been amazing. But as I said, if I was to read it now, it just might not be as good. You need to read this one alongside the Infernal Devices if you actually care about that, but you definitely should care because that series is even better than this series. So this series right here is the Infernal Vices by Cassandra Clare, and it is the prequel series to the Mortal Instruments and one of many series she's writing. She's still got another 2 series to write, so I'm so freaking excited because this continues on. She's built such a complex world and it's great that she continued to write stories in that world. This one is probably one of my favorite trilogies of all time. It is a lot of people's favorite trilogies. It's just amazing. The romance, the story, the everything, the characters. Both of these have big eclectic casts of characters, just amazing. So there is an order to read these in and I will list them. City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, Clockwork Angel, City of Fallen Angels, Clockwork Prince, City of Lost Souls, Clockwork Princess, and then City of Heavenly Fire. So that's the way you want to read them if you want to get the maximum out of this entire 9-book 2-series situation here. But I love this series so much. No one can take it away from me. People can say, oh, it's shit now and everything, but no, this series has been my life over the last 5 years of excessive reading. So, and the TV show is coming out soon. I'm so freaking excited. Last book series I'm going to talk about, it's not young adult, but like you can't not talk about it, and that is of course Harry Potter. People, you know, generally people around my age, older, younger, everything, they love Harry Potter because it is life, it is something we all grew up with, and it's just amazing. You know, if you haven't read it, I don't know what else to say. I don't really need to recommend it because you need to get on that and it's amazing, and that's it. That's all I need to say. Done. done. Now I'm going to quickly show you a lot of the book series I have on my shelf that I haven't read that are popular young adult ones, so I'll just quickly show you those. I have some classic series up here. I have the Legend Trilogy by Marie Lu that I haven't read, The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I have the Precious Stone / Ruby Red Trilogy, Laini Taylor's Daughters of Megan Bone series. I've Rune Rising that I haven't read yet, the Magic Study series by Maria V. Snyder. I've only read the first book of the Anna series, so I have a few books to bloody read, don't I? Anyway, thank you so much for watching and hearing my opinions on some of the popular young adult book series and what I feel about them. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. Hopefully I can do another video one of these one day when I've read a few more popular YA series, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!